If you thought you'd seen everything the NFL could throw at a young quarterback, think again, because what just leaked out of Cleveland isn't just bad blocking, it's betrayal in broad daylight. This is Spill News, where secrets explode before your eyes. And today the internet is losing its mind over one clip that has fans asking a dangerous question. Did a Browns lineman quit on his own quarterback on fourth down? The footage is brutal. Fourth and short. C's on the line. And somehow, someway, Shedeur Sanders ends up staring at pressure that looks invited, not earned. Zero urgency. Zero resistance. Zero blocking. The internet couldn't believe it, and you won't either. Names are flying. Blame is spreading. And whispers are getting louder by the hour. From locker room tension to quiet quitting rumors, fans are connecting dots that the mainstream won't even acknowledge. One comment summed it up best. Bro said too much and they got him. So let me ask you this. If you were in this position, same betrayal, same threat, same moment with everything on the line, what would you do? Fold? Fire back? Or remember who left you out to dry? We've got the screenshots, the reactions, the whispers nobody wants on record. Let's break it all down, and trust me, it gets uglier. It didn't start with a hit. That's what most people get wrong. Everyone keeps rewinding the tape to the moment Shedeur Sanders goes down on fourth down, like the story begins there. It doesn't. That moment was just the explosion. The fire had been burning quietly for weeks before anyone noticed the smoke. Long before the leaked clip ever touched social media. Long before fans started screaming sabotage. Something inside that building in Cleveland felt off. Players felt it. Coaches danced around it. And Shedeur, he lived it. From the outside, it looked like opportunity. A young quarterback walking into the league with a famous last name. Cameras following every step. Expectations already sky high. But behind closed doors, the energy was different. Cold, distant, like a room where everyone knows something you don't. And they're waiting to see how you react when you finally realize it. Early practices told the story if you knew where to look. Reps that never came. Meetings that felt rushed. Install sessions where questions hung in the air just a second too long before anyone answered. There were whispers almost immediately. Anonymous posts. Deleted comments. Screenshots that popped up for 5 minutes and vanished. Why isn't he running with the ones? Why does it feel like he's earning everything twice? People laughed it off at first. Rookie stuff. Adjustment period. That's what they said. But players notice patterns. And patterns don't lie. By the time the season kicked off, the tension wasn't even subtle anymore. On game days, cameras caught it in small moments. A lineman not making eye contact. A receiver jogging back to the huddle, shaking his head. A sideline exchange that ended too fast. Like someone realized they were being watched. Analysts brushed past it. Fans clipped it. Group chats lit up. Something wasn't right, and everyone could feel it. Shedeur, to his credit, never said much. He played. He absorbed hits. He got up over and over. Pressure coming fast. Sometimes untouched. Pockets collapsing before routes could even develop. And still, he kept throwing. Still kept leading. Still kept believing the situation would stabilize if he just did his part. That's what quarterbacks are taught. Control what you can control. Trust your protection. Trust the system. But trust is fragile, especially when it starts cracking on third and fourth down. The first time people really noticed, it wasn't even a now viral play. It was earlier. A third and medium where protection slid left while the rush came right. Clean shot. No chip. No help. Shedeur popped up slow, helmet tilted, eyes scanning the sideline like he was searching for confirmation that what just happened wasn't normal. Commentators called it a free rusher. Fans called it unlucky, but in the stands, a few heads turned. Linemen know their assignments. Misses happen, but this looked casual. Then it happened again the following week. Similar situation. Late down. Same result. Pressure untouched. No real attempt to slow it down. By then, message boards were buzzing. People started pulling film. Slow motion. Zoomed in angles. Frame-by-frame breakdowns from accounts with usernames like Trenches Don't Lie and All 22 Truth. And that's when the word started creeping in. quietly at first. Sabotage. Nobody wanted to say it out loud yet, because once you say it, there's no going back. You're accusing professionals of something unforgivable. But the clips kept stacking. The body language kept getting worse. And Shedeur kept getting hit. Inside the locker room, sources say conversations changed. Less laughter, more silence, players choosing lockers farther apart, offensive meetings that ended without eye contact. You could feel the divide forming, like two sides pretending they were still one unit. Veterans saying all the right things to the media. We've got to be better. It's on all of us. Standard answers, safe answers. But privately, that's where the stories start getting messy. A leaked DM surfaced briefly one night, posted by a burner account and deleted within minutes. It claimed a veteran had warned Shedeur early on, "You gotta watch your back on money downs." No names, no verification, just enough to set the internet on fire. Screenshots spread anyway. Reddit threads exploded. TikTok breakdowns popped up overnight. Was it real? Fake? A clout grab? Nobody knew, but the seed was planted. And then came Buffalo. Big game, bright lights, a defense that doesn't forgive mistakes. From the opening drive, Shedeur looked locked in, calm, confident, moving the ball, standing tall, doing exactly what critics said he couldn't do against elite competition. For a moment, it felt like everything might finally turn, like the noise would quiet itself. Then the hit started again. First one early, then another, then another. Each time, pressure arriving fast in the routes. Each time, Shedeur popping back up jaw tight, saying nothing. Cameras caught him glancing at the line more than usual. Not angry, not yelling, just processing. By the time the fourth quarter rolled around, the tension was unbearable. Fourth and short, season heartbeat moment. Every coach preaches it. Every player knows it. This is where effort isn't optional. This is where reputations are made. The ball was snapped, and that's where everything changed. Because what happened next didn't look like football anymore. It looked like something else. Something colder. Something that made even neutral fans rewind the clip and lean closer to their screens. A lineman upright, feet planted, hands late, no urgency, no explosion, just a moment of nothing, while chaos rushed straight toward the quarterback. Shedeur never had a chance. When he hit the turf, the stadium went quiet for half a second. Not the normal groan, not the usual frustration. It was confusion, the kind that makes people look at each other instead of the field. Like, did you just see that too? And on the sideline, cameras caught it. Shedeur sitting alone, helmet off, staring forward. Not at the tablet, not at the coach, just forward. Like someone replaying something in their head that they already know will make sense no matter how many times they run it back. Because what came next, even his enemies didn't expect. Because once that clip hit the internet, there was no containing it. It didn't leak quietly. It detonated. Someone uploaded a grainy sideline angle first. Then another account dropped the broadcast replay slowed down to half speed. And within hours, fans had stitched together a dozen angles like they were building a criminal case. Pause, zoom, circle, arrow, red line, yellow highlight. Every frame dissected like it was evidence in a trial that had already reached a verdict. And this time, the comments weren't split. This ain't a missed block. That's quitting. I've never seen that on fourth down. Bro didn't even try. The language shifted fast. People weren't saying bad rep anymore. They were saying give up. They were saying business decision. They were saying inside job. And the scarier part? Former players started liking the posts. Not commenting. Not defending. Just liking. Silent acknowledgement. The kind that speaks louder than words. Then came the so-called receipts. A fake group chat screenshot made its rounds, allegedly from an unnamed offensive line room. It showed a message timestamped 2 days before the game. Y'all already know what time it is on money downs. Another reply underneath it. Say less. Was it real? Nobody could confirm it, but it spread anyway. Twitter doesn't wait for verification. TikTok doesn't care about sources. The narrative was already running downhill, and nothing was stopping it. Blogs jumped in next. Low-budget sports sites with names like Gridiron After Dark and Fourth Down Files published anonymous breakdowns claiming internal frustration and locker room fractures. One article said a veteran lineman felt the quarterback was forced on the team. Another claimed certain players were protecting themselves, not the system. Again, no names, no proof, just enough smoke to make the fire look real. And the timing made it worse, because just hours after the clip went viral, practice footage surfaced showing Shedeur running drills with backups. No announcement, no explanation, just a short video shot from the stands. People noticed immediately. Why isn't he with the starters? Why does this keep happening? Same story, different week. The comments spiraled into theories fast and the team could shut them down. Meanwhile, Shedeur stayed silent. No cryptic tweets, no subtweets, no emojis, nothing, which somehow made it louder. Silence in moments like this is either discipline or damage control, and fans couldn't decide which one scared them more. Then came the reaction shows. Late-night streams popped up breaking down the play frame by frame. Hosts paused the clip at the exact moment the lineman should have engaged. "Look at his feet," one said. "No drive." Another zoomed in on the hands. "No punch." Someone else rewound again and pointed out how easily the defender slid past, untouched, like the block was theoretical instead of physical. Sarcasm flooded the airwaves, because nothing screamed protection like standing still. Maybe he thought the defender was imaginary. Must have been waiting for an Uber. Jokes, sure, but underneath the humor was something darker. A feeling fans recognize instinctively. When your team isn't just losing, it's fractured. And then, just when it seemed like the story couldn't get messier, another name entered the conversation. A former teammate from Shedeur's past liked a post calling the play nasty work. No caption, no explanation, just a like. Screenshots everywhere within minutes. Fans read into it immediately. He knows. He's seen this before. History repeating itself. More alleged DMs surfaced. One claimed Shedeur confronted someone after the game. Another claimed the coach brushed it off as miscommunication. Another said the offensive line room went quiet during film review. Too quiet. No jokes. No excuses. Just tension. And here's where the tone shifted from outrage to paranoia. Because people started asking a different question. Not, was this one lineman? But how deep does this go? Was it frustration over play calling? Over money? Over contracts? Over favoritism? Over ego? Every theory had an audience. Some said veterans didn't like taking orders from a young quarterback. Others claimed resentment over attention and cameras. Some even whispered about internal politics nobody outside the building was supposed to see. And the organization? Silent. No immediate statement. No clarification. No, we're reviewing the tape. Nothing. Just business as usual. Which, in moments like this, feels anything but normal. Because when fans are screaming sabotage and you say nothing, silence becomes its own answer. By the next morning, the clip had crossed into mainstream timelines. Not the breakdowns, not the nuance, just a moment, the still frame, the lineman upright, the defender free, the quarterback about to get hit. That image alone did more damage than any hot take ever could. Even neutral fans were chiming in now. I don't have a dog in this fight, but that looks wild. I've watched football my whole life. That ain't right. Fourth down? Nah. The pressure mounted. And then came the moment everyone was waiting for. A press conference. Microphones lined up, cameras rolling, the questions carefully worded. What did you see on that play? Was there a breakdown in communication? Do you feel your quarterback was protected enough? Answers were polished, vague, professional. We gotta clean some things up. It's a collective effort. We trust our guys. The usual phrases. The ones that mean nothing and everything at the same time. But body language tells stories words won't. A pause before answering. A glance to the side. A jaw tightening just slightly. Fans caught it, clipped it, slowed it down. Why did he hesitate? Why won't anyone say his name? Why does this feel rehearsed? And in the middle of it all, Shedeur finally spoke. Not publicly, not directly, but someone close to him allegedly leaked a message to a small page. One line. That's it. Some things you don't forget. No context, no explanation, just enough to send the internet into meltdown mode. Because now, this wasn't just about a block. It was about trust. And once trust is gone, everything starts falling apart, which is exactly why what came next shocked everyone. Because just when it felt like the story had peaked, another layer peeled back, and another name surfaced that nobody saw coming. And once that clip started circulating, there was no walking it back. No clarification could undo what people felt in their gut watching it. Because football fans know the difference between getting beat and giving up. They've seen thousands of plays. They've watched Hall of Famers get embarrassed. Rookies miss assignments. Veterans lose a step. But this didn't feel like any of that. It felt empty, like effort had been removed from the equation entirely. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Discord servers, private group chats. People weren't even arguing anymore. They were dissecting, slowing the footage down, counting steps, freezing frames, circling body positioning like analysts building a case file. Someone overlaid commentary from former linemen explaining how protection is supposed to work on fourth down. Another creator stitched it with old clips of textbook pass sets. The contrast was jarring, night and day. And that's when the tone shifted from confusion to anger, because fans started connecting dots that the organization never wanted connected. Similar breakdowns earlier in the season, similar situations, same results. Pressure coming free, quarterback absorbing hits, and every time the blame mysteriously landed everywhere except where the tape seemed to point. Then came the fake leaks. Screenshots of alleged internal messages started popping up, a blurred image of a text bubble that read, "Not risking my body for politics." Another claimed a veteran complained about being used to prop someone up. No names, no timestamps that could be verified. But that didn't matter. The damage was already done. In the core of public opinion, perception moves faster than facts. Blogs jumped on it next. Overnight think pieces appeared accusing the Browns of mismanagement, favoritism, and locker room dysfunction. One headline read, "Is Cleveland quietly sabotaging its own QB?" Another went even further, claiming players were making business decisions on money downs. That phrase spread like wildfire. Business decision. It sounded clean, professional, but everyone knew what it really meant. And then former players started chiming in, not directly, not explicitly, but enough to fan the flames. A retired lineman tweeted, "Effort is effort. Film don't lie." Another posted a laughing emoji under the clip and deleted it minutes later. Screenshots live forever. Fans took it as confirmation. If ex-players were reacting like that, then something had to be wrong. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders became the center of a storm he never asked for. Every hit he took after that play felt heavier. Every dropback looked more dangerous. Every sack felt personal. Cameras caught him adjusting protections more aggressively. Audible calls came faster. His eyes moved quicker. He was playing quarterback and detective at the same time, trying to survive while reading intentions. And the sideline? That's where things got uncomfortable. One clip showed Shedeur walking past the offensive line without a word. No shouting, no gestures, just silence. Another angle showed a lineman laughing with a teammate moments after the failed fourth down. Fans lost it. How are you smiling? Your QB just got crushed. Read the room. Defenders of the team tried to push back. You can't read into one moment. Cameras catch everything. This is football. But the replies drown them out. Because when distrust sets in, logic becomes optional. Then came the press questions. Reporters started pressing harder. Did you feel protected on that play? Was there confusion up front? Is communication an issue? The answers were safe, polished, rehearsed. No one said anything wrong. But no one said anything convincing either, and fans noticed something else. Nobody denied it. Nobody said, that wasn't effort. Nobody said, he gave everything he had. Nobody jumped in to defend the lineman's intent. It was all vague language. Breakdowns, execution, clean it up, coach speak. The kind of answers that make sense on paper, but collapse under slow motion replay. As the days passed, the narrative grew teeth. People started questioning contracts. Who was guaranteed money? Who was playing for incentives? Who had something to lose on a risky fourth down stand? Amateur detectives pulled salary charts, injury histories, snap counts, anything that could explain why a professional would look like that in the biggest moment of the game. And then quietly, another clip surfaced. Practice footage. Short, grainy, shot from the stands. It showed Shedeur running drills with backups while starters worked elsewhere. No context, no explanation. The internet filled in the blanks immediately. Punishment, isolation, same pattern again. That's when the conversation turned ugly, because now it wasn't just fans talking about a lineman. They were talking about the culture, about whether the quarterback was truly supported, about whether the situation was bigger than one rep, one player, one game. And buried under all of it was one terrifying idea. What if this keeps happening? What if this wasn't the peak but the warning shot? Because if a quarterback can't trust protection on fourth down, what does that do to his timing, his confidence, his instincts? How long before hesitation creeps in? How long before survival mode replaces development? That's when the internet started asking the most dangerous question of all. Not who messed up, but who benefits if he fails? And just when people thought the story had reached its limit, when they thought the outrage had nowhere else to go, something unexpected happened behind the scenes that shifted the entire narrative. Because what followed wasn't just fallout, it was personal. Because once things turned personal, there was no hiding anymore. The story stopped being about one blown block and started being about survival, about what happens to a quarterback when trust disappears. And every snap feels like a gamble. Inside the building, sources say the mood shifted from tense to fractured almost overnight. Meetings got shorter. Conversations got colder. Players started choosing words carefully, like everyone knew the walls had ears. Shedeur felt it immediately, not in one dramatic moment, but in 100 small ones. A pause before a fist bump, a lineman walking past without acknowledgement, a coach correcting him a little sharper than usual. These are the things cameras don't always catch, but players feel in their bones. And for a quarterback, that weight is brutal. Because leadership isn't just throwing passes. It's believing the people around you won't leave you exposed when it matters. The hits kept coming, not just physically, but mentally. Each sack replayed online with captions questioning his toughness, his decision-making, his future. Critics ignored the context. They always do. They didn't slow the tape. They didn't watch the pocket evaporate. They saw the result and assigned blame where it was easiest. And that's how careers get rewritten. Privately, people close to Shedeur say the pressure started showing. Not fear, frustration. Long nights, extra film sessions, rewatching the same play again and again, searching for something he could have done differently, something he could control. Because when everything feels stacked against you, control becomes an obsession. And then came the rumor that shook everything. A whisper that Shedeur had asked for clarification behind closed doors. Not confrontation, not accusations, just answers. What happened on that play? Why did it look like that? Was there a miscommunication or something else? The response allegedly was cold, defensive. Football happens. That was it. No accountability, no acknowledgement of optics, just dismissal. That's when the wall went up. From that point on, every interaction became transactional. Do your job, say the right thing, move on. But the damage was already done. Because once a quarterback feels unsupported, it changes everything. Timing tightens, trust shrinks, decisions get faster, not always smarter. You stop waiting for routes to develop. You stop believing help is coming. Fans saw it too. They noticed Shedeur bailing out of clean pockets earlier than before, throwing the ball away instead of extending plays. protecting himself instead of chasing the moment, and they argued about it endlessly. Some said he was regressing. Others said he was adapting. A few said he was doing what he had to do to survive. Then the backlash hit the organization. Sponsors got tagged. Team account got flooded. Hashtags trended questioning leadership, culture, accountability. The front office stayed quiet, too quiet, and silence in moments like this is gasoline, because people assume the worst when no one fills a space with truth. One viral post summed it up perfectly. If this is how you treat your QB in public, imagine what happens in private. And the speculation only grew. Would there be changes? Benching rumors, trade whispers, draft talk. Analysts started floating replacement names like it was casual conversation, as if quarterbacks are disposable, as if context doesn't matter, as if one season can define a career forever. That's when the final twist hit. A late-night post from a burner account claiming to be inside the building. It didn't accuse anyone directly. It didn't name names. It just said this: he wasn't supposed to be the guy. That's the part nobody wants to admit. The post vanished within minutes. But screenshots never disappear. Fans lost it. This explains everything. So he was set up from day one? They never wanted him to win. Whether it was true or not didn't even matter anymore, because the idea had taken hold. And once fans believe a quarterback is being set up to fail, they don't let go easily. For Shedeur, the road ahead suddenly looked different. Not just about wins and losses, but legacy. About how this chapter would be remembered. Would people remember pressure? The hits? The moments he stood tall despite chaos? Or would they just remember the box scores and move on? That's the cruel part of this league. Quarterbacks carry the blame even when the cracks start elsewhere. And as the season dragged on, one thing became clear. Whatever happened on that fourth down didn't stay on the field. It followed everyone involved. It changed conversations. It shifted perceptions. It planted doubts that won't disappear quietly. The leaked footage didn't just expose a play. It exposed a fracture, a moment where effort was questioned, trust was broken, and a young quarterback was left to stand alone under the brightest lights. Whether it was sabotage, miscommunication, or something between, the result was the same. A moment that will be replayed, debated, and dissected long after season ends. Because players move on, rosters change, coaches rotate. But moments like that, they stick. And Shedeur Sanders may move forward, stronger, smarter, more guarded. Or he may carry this as a scar, a reminder of what happens when belief fades inside a locker room. He didn't disappear. He didn't quit. But something did change that night. And while the play is over, the questions remain. And that's where we leave it, not with answers, but with questions that refuse to go away. Because this wasn't just one blown assignment. It wasn't just one bad play. It was a moment that cracked something open. And once cracks show, you can't pretend the wall was ever solid. The footage doesn't lie. The reactions don't lie. And the silence, that speaks louder than any press conference ever could. So now it's on you. What do you see when you watch that playback? Do you see a simple mistake, or a player who checked out at the worst possible time? Do you see a young quarterback failing, or one being left exposed when it mattered most? And if this really was just football, why does it feel like nobody wants to talk about it? Because here's the truth. Stories like this don't end quietly. They resurface. They follow careers. They change narratives. And whether people admit it or not, moments like this decide futures long before stat sheets do. This league moves fast. Today's silence becomes tomorrow's headline. And trust me, this situation in Cleveland, it's far from over. So I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Say what everyone else is afraid to say. Was it sabotage or something even worse, indifference? And if you think this clip was wild, just wait. Because more footage, more whispers, and more uncomfortable questions are already floating around behind the scenes. Hit that like button if you believe the truth is being ignored. Subscribe if you want the stories they won't break on TV. And turn on notifications, because the next update might flip this whole thing upside down. This is Spill News, where the tape doesn't disappear and the secrets never stay buried.